A very good morning to all my dear students. Students, in the previous tutorial, we have studied the various types of mountains. Young and old mountains, block mountains, fold mountains and residual mountains. Now, let's recall the previous what we have studied. Question number 1. How many types of volcanoes are there? Yes, there are 3 types of volcanoes: active, dormant and extinct. Question number 2. Name the instrument which is used to record an earthquake. The correct answer is seismograph. Third question. Which scale is used to measure the magnitude of earthquake? The correct answer is Richter scale. And students, can you tell me the person who studies earthquake or any other planetary activities, what they are called? The answer is seismologist. They are called as seismologists, those who study earthquakes and other planetary activities. Now, today in this we are going to cover other landforms like plateaus and plains. So let's continue. Did you know Charles Francis Richter was an American seismologist? In 1935, he invented the Richter scale to measure the intensity of earthquakes. So, now you are able to understand why it is called a Richter scale, because who invented it? It was invented by Charles Francis Richter. So, on his name, this scale is having the name. Now students, we will study the plateaus. Higher than the lowlands, plateaus have relatively even surface. See, these are higher than the lowland. Lowland is flat, yes, but it is higher than the lowland. That is why they are called as plateaus, and they are having even surface. Even surface means they are flat, they are smooth. So this is the another type of landform. They are formed due to an uplift of the crust at some stage of time. You know that changes it occurs on the earth. So how plateaus are formed? When the earth crust they are uplifted, then these plateaus are formed. Plateaus of Western Australia and South Africa retain the original landform at the time of the formation. Means the plateaus which are in Western Australia and South Africa, they are same as they are formed. Means nothing happened to these plateaus. Some plateaus are badly dissected. Dissected means they are cut up or they are break. How? By rivers flowing past them. When rivers they flow through them, then they are dissected. They cut up. Some others like Tibet are surrounded by mountain ranges on all sides. You know Tibet it is also situated on the Tibetan plateau. And where is Tibetan plateau? It is on the northern side of the Himalayas. So Tibet is also surrounded by mountain ranges. Now now we have studied plateau. Now we will continue plains. Another landform. Plains is an extensive area of land, either flat or gently rolling. Plains are also called lowlands. So what are plains? Plains are lowlands, means no mountains are there, no hills are there, no valleys are there. It is just simply plain. And you know we are all living on plains. And it, or we can also say they are leveled lowlands. Leveled are there and lowlands, leveled lowlands. Lowlands, a flat area of land. So flat area is there now of plains. So that is why it is also called as lowlands. Now we will study the different types of plains. First is alluvial plains. These are formed by sediments brought down by river. The Ganga plain in India is one of the examples of alluvial plain. So alluvial, you know, it is also a kind of a soil. So how these plains are formed? These plains are formed by the sediments. Whatever the rivers they brought with them, it is deposited. And then it form a plain. So it is called as alluvial plain. Now drift plain. Drift plains like Canada are formed by glacier deposits. So plain in Canada, how it is formed? It is formed by glaciers. Now how it is formed means when a sheet of ice is there, when it detached from the main body of glaciers, yes. So when a sheet of ice, it is separated from a glacier and melts in a place, depositing the sediments it carried. So it formed the drift plains. Suppose a sheet is there of ice. It is cut from the glacier. Then it start melting. So whatever the sediments it has brought along with it, it starts settling and it form a plain. Now we will third read depositional plains. Blowing winds lead to formation of depositional plains as in northwestern China. Blowing winds means winds, they brought so many things with them. When the winds blow, with winds sand also blows. Yes. So these type of plains, they are formed through blowing winds or blown sand. Yes, when wind blows, what it carried different type of particles, sands along with them also. Wind or sand also blows along with wind. So with that, depositional plains formed. Now plain formed in erosion. Plains are also formed by erosion of plateaus and mountains. Means when erosion are there, erosion agents, like wind, water, heavy rain, what they do, they erode mountains or any plateaus, then they deposit sediments. Yes, that then plain is formed. So that plain is formed through erosions. Example is Canadian Shield. Now we will study structural plains. Where a seabed is bordering a continent uplift, structural plains are formed. Seabed here means bottom of the ocean. When there is any change or any upliftment in the bottom of the ocean, means ocean bottom, it rises up, then it forms a plain. Okay, so that is called a structural plains. The southeastern plains in United States of America were formed in this manner. So what is seabed? The bottom of the ocean when it is uplifted. Ocean का जो bottom होता है जब uplift होता है, किसी कारण से ऊपर उठता है, then a plain is formed. So that are called as structural plains. Now students, we will study the external process through which the structure of the earth changes. First, weathering, erosion and deposition are called external process of formation of landforms. So through these also different types of landforms are formed as they are responsible for changes that happen over the surface. Now first is weathering. What is weathering? It refers to all the process that breaks rock into smaller particles. When small rocks, it breaks or it disintegrates into small parts, that is called weathering. What is erosion? Once the rock is broken by weathering, the small pieces are moved by the help of water, moving ice, wind or gravity. In this process, broken rocks are carried from one place and get deposited at another place. This process is called erosion. So what is erosion? Erosion means when the rock is broken by weathering, then small pieces it carried by river, moving ice, wind, and then it get deposited from one place to another. So that process is called as erosion. The rate of weathering and erosion depends on the following factors. So why this weathering and erosion took place? Temperature and rainfall of a place. Temperature is also responsible for weathering and erosion and rainfall of a place. Vegetation cover. How much vegetation covered? Change in land use. Types of soil. Slope of the land. So these are the things on the basis of which weathering and erosion depends. Means how much weathering and erosion will took place in any area, it depends upon these factors. Means what type of a soil are there, what is the slope of the land, yes, how much it is covered by vegetation, what is the rainfall of that place, what is the temperature of that place. On the basis of this, weathering and erosion took place. Now we will study next. Weathering involves disintegration and decomposition of rocks. Disintegration here means that the rocks is broken into small fragments. And what is decomposition of rocks? Means when any chemical changes took place in rocks and new minerals are formed. Yes, minerals we take out from the earth only. So when any destruction or any chemical changes occur in the rocks and new minerals are formed, that is called decomposition of rocks. Many agents such as heat, cold, rain, frost action, plants, animals and chemical reactions help in weathering. Weathering is followed by erosion. Once weathering is done, then erosion also took place. During this process, the broken rock materials are removed from the place of its origin and deposited elsewhere. The main agents of erosion. What are the main agents of erosion? How it took place? Through water, means through rivers, glaciers and wind. The materials get deposited to different places. So which we have already studied here, that whatever the river they carried along with it, it is deposited at different places. Thus different landforms are created. Weathering and erosion that spread over millions of years change the land surface features like mountains, hills, plateaus, plains and on the earth. So sometimes you see mountains are big, and on sometimes you see that mountain also short in height gets short. So how it happened? It happened only due to the weathering and erosion. If there were not such process like weathering or erosion, the earth would have been very different. For very long time these two forces are acting together. So these two forces, they act together, not separately. Now we will study formation of soil, how soil is formed. If the weathered rock particles remains exposed for a long time, chemical as well as organic changes take place. So when these rock particles in this weathered rock particles, when any chemical or any organic changes take place, then it converted into soil. So what is exposed means uh, rocks are there, they are not protected from any wind or bad weather. So what happened, they are openly in an open area, so chemical and organic changes take place, and because of that soil is formed. These changes lead to the formation of soil. Soil is very important for plants growth. Formation of soils depends on the prevailing climate, rock types, vegetation of the area as well as slope of the land. So formation of soil, how soil is formed is also depend on various factors like what is the climate of that area where soil is forming, because you know that in different parts of India we find different types of soil. Yes, alluvial soil, red soil, black soil. So why it happens? It happens because of these factors that we find different types of soil, like different climate of any place, different rocks of any place, different vegetation as well as the different slopes of the land. Now we will role of human beings. Sometimes through lack of knowledge about the process and consequences, humans alter landforms. Alter means they change the landforms. Nuclear tests or creating large dams are examples of such activities which have created havoc. So these nuclear tests or creating large dams also uh, responsible for creating havoc. Havoc means a situation is there when there is too much lot of damage is there or confusion is there, and because of nuclear explosions sometimes environmental pollution also took place. There is a damage to landforms also. In our enthusiasm, we cut down forests and destroy pasture to bring more and more land under the plug. So another second reason is role that people, what they are doing, they are cutting the forest, they are destroying the pasture lands for the animals, because they are bringing that area under plug means for doing farming or for doing agriculture. While doing so, we disturb the ecological balance in the nature and also our environment. Construction of roads, buildings of cities and growth of industries, these also disturb the whole environment. So students, these see soil formation, how
air is there how much? 25%. Water is there 25%. How much mineral particles are there? 45%. And besides this, soil is also having organic matter, which is 5%, which includes organism 10, roots 10, humus 80. Humus, you know, that decayed plants and animals. So like this soil is formed.
So students, today we have finished this chapter about changing earth. Hope you are able to understand. Now what is your homework? That you have to do the exercises of that chapter, which we will discuss in the next tutorial. Till then, have a good day.